the assassin acted alone.
Governor Cox on Fox's special report with Brett Baer. He talks about what he sees as the motivation for the killing.
This is someone who hated Charlie Kirk and hated his message and hated what he was doing and decided to use political violence to end his life.
Kirk was shot while holding an event on a college campus in Utah on Tuesday. Authorities say one of the bullets recovered from Robinson's gun had a message reading, "Hey, fascist, catch." Governor Cox says prosecutors could seek the death penalty. President Trump meeting with Qatar's prime minister days after Israeli airstrike targeted Hamas leaders in that country's capital.
After meeting here at the White House with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Qatar's prime minister will have dinner in New York City with President Trump and White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Sheikh Mohammed Al Thani described an Israeli airstrike in Doha this week targeting Hamas leaders as an act of state terror. Qatar is hosting Gaza ceasefire talks between Hamas, Israel, and the U.S. and is a key American military ally. President Trump has also criticized the Israeli action and directed Rubio to finalize a military and economic agreement with Qatar.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The Missouri Senate has passed a measure to redistrict congressional areas that could give Republicans an additional House seat. The Senate has sent the bill to Republican Governor Mike Keogh for his signature, but opponents have announced a referendum petition that could force a statewide vote on the new map. Two separate boat accidents in northern Congo this week have killed at least 193 people. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A man on a motorcycle fired shots at a car. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending this hour. Police say it happened last month on I-465 northbound near I-69 in Indianapolis.
Luckily, no injuries were reported, but the car did have bullet holes in it. We were able to get a photo of the motorcycle from a traffic camera, and with that information, with the community's help, we were able to locate the person responsible.
State Police Sergeant John Perrine says they tracked the man named Logan Quisenberry to a home where they found improvised explosive devices. Perrine says they disarmed the devices and arrested Quisenberry on several charges. A late-night argument outside a downtown Indy business left two women injured. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
An Indianapolis man is facing charges after two women were injured in a shooting along South Meridian Street earlier this month. The shooting happened during an argument outside of a business on September 5th. The man, Antoine Thomas, was working as a security guard at the time. He's accused of firing several shots during the dispute. The women were taken to the hospital. Thomas was arrested 6 days later, and he's a convicted felon, prohibited from owning a weapon.
Despite having 5 players out with injuries, the Indiana Fever had a chance to relax ever since clinching a WNBA playoff spot. Fever head coach Stephanie White.
It's nice to have had the opportunity with this group for 10 days, and then, hopefully now these extra 5 days that we have, or however many days that we have, continue to work that continuity.
Fever played the Atlanta Dream on Sunday. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Saturday, our rain and storm chances have gone up. We're tracking the potential for spotty to scattered showers and storms in the afternoon and nighttime hours. Highs will be in the mid-80s. Some spots may even hit the upper 80s for those who do not get in as much cloud cover and rain. How much TV Storm Track ABD urologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's. But that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tony Kinnet.
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 Host of the Tony Kinnet Cast.
Let's get down to business.
You're listening to the Tony Kinnet Cast on 93 WYPC.
Here on the Daily Signal.
Welcome to the Tony Kinnet Cast. I'm your host to take you into the weekend. My name's Jerry Lopez. You can find me on X at Indy Spanglish. You made it. The weekend is finally here. It's been a pretty emotional week for everybody. I don't know about you. I'm ready just to kind of do nothing. But let's catch you up on some details. As you probably already know, the suspect in the killing of Charlie Kirk has been identified. He has been arrested. His name is Tyler Robinson. He's being held in a Utah jail without bail. He's not working with investigators. Now, if you haven't heard, the way that he was caught is his father was actually involved in law enforcement. His father became convinced that the 22-year-old was the shooter. He saw photos. He confronted him about it. And initially, the son balked at the idea, surrendering, claimed he was going to end it himself. Then he was persuaded to talk to a pastor who works with law enforcement and has been turned in by his father. So kudos to that dad. I cannot imagine being in that position. What a tough spot. As much as we like to hate that guy, that's somebody's kid. And so my thoughts go with his parents too. Like, that sucks. But let's catch you up on kind of the chain of events. Charlie Kirk's body was delivered back home to Phoenix, Arizona. And Phoenix Air Traffic Control had a special message for him when they landed.
On the visual 26, South 1555 Phoenix Air, wind 2409, runway 26, good line. Clear line 26, Southwest 1565.
Welcome home, Charlie. You didn't deserve it. May God bless your family.
Welcome home, Charlie. You didn't deserve it. May God bless your family. So the news of the capture of the killer was broke today by President Trump on Fox News. And this is what the country woke up to early in the morning. Trump saying, hey, we got him.
Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
Trump goes on further to kind of explain different details of the event. And everybody was kind of interested, like, how did this happen? So Trump let out the news that the father was actually involved in the turnover of his son.
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal. And they took it from there, and then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And they, so I understand it, and again, subject to change, but, you know, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Now, I believe this father probably saved his son's life at this moment, but Utah is an execution state. So with this, probably, I mean, listen, it was definitely premeditated. So that's one of the things that it takes for a lethal injection case. But how did we get here? How did this kid, was a 4.0 student, supposedly, got the presidential scholarship, comes from a great family. Nothing pointed to this happening outside of what we assume is radicalization that happens in college. okay? And when we talk about how these college students get radicalized, one name comes to mind, and that's George Soros. George Soros has been responsible for a lot of the getting people together and the training and the protesting, and he's kind of been the boogeyman on that side. Well, Trump said something that I've been waiting to hear for over 10 years.
I had one the other night. I went into a restaurant, and this woman stood up. I looked at her immediately. She had money. She wasn't serious. They get paid for it. They're professional from Soros and other people. And we're going to look into Soros because I think it's a RICO case against him and other people. Because this is more than like protest. This is real agitation. This is riots on the street. And we're going to look into that.
What do we do about our country with that? Because we have radicals on the right.
I had one the other night. I went into a restaurant, and this woman stood.
And there it is, right? Finally, somebody said, we need to look into this because this is way too organized. How many times have you seen a protest and pulls up the U-Haul, a bunch of people get out, or we had a protest not too long ago where somebody was handing out gas masks, or all these different things are coming together where it just doesn't seem like an organic moment that happened. So kudos to Trump. Kudos to anybody that wants to look into who is financing all of this. All right, President Trump later went on to talk about a special moment that he shared with his son Barron when it came to meeting Charlie Kirk.
So Barron's a very good student. And Barron came to me and he said, Dad, I'd like to meet somebody that you know. Who? Charlie Kirk. I said, what? You know, I thought he was going to say, I want to meet like King Charles or something, like we're going to meet soon, right? But he said, really, you want? And I set up a lunch with him, and he came back. He said, that guy's great, Dad. That guy's great. You know, it was cute. He's unbelievable. I don't know what it was. Charlie had a magic over the kids, and large numbers of them, and very diverse. Black, white. Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody, the young women and boys, and I've never seen anything like it. And it was all good. I mean, it was good stuff. It wasn't some of the stuff you read about where they're in favor of all these horrible things. It was really good stuff. And we lost an unbelievable warrior.
Now, WIBC superfan Drake, hey, what's up, bud? I see you in the YouTube chat. You posted something today that really made a lot of sense, and people need to hear it, all right? Charlie Kirk was not killed for talking to college students. Charlie Kirk was killed because they were listening. Think about that. When we look at the demographic of voters, we never talked about a young conservative base. Charlie Kirk is single-handedly responsible for bringing this young conservative base by doing exactly what he did when he gave his life. So when you go out there and he's talking to these students, there's a lot of radicals that are in that age. They're very influential. You get a lot of groupthink when you're in pockets in college. A lot of us did a lot of stupid things with our friends in college because nobody's there to tell you that's dumb. But what can we do about the radicals that are on the left?
Radicals on the right as well. We have radicals on the left. People are watching all of these videos and cheering. Some people are cheering that Charlie was killed. How do we fix this country? How do we come back together?
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. They don't want to see crime.
Worried about the border.
They're saying, we don't want these people coming in. We don't want you burning our shopping centers. We don't want you shooting our people in the middle of the street. The radicals on the left are the problem. And they're vicious, and they're horrible, and they're politically savvy. Although they want men and women sports, they want transgender for everyone, they want open borders. The worst thing that happened.
So there it is right there, right? And when we look at the behavior, right, the inscriptions on the weapon, the inscriptions on the bullets, we saw the same thing at the Catholic school shooting where the domestic terrorists wrote inscriptions about fascism and pro-trans stuff on the bullets. Well, here is the Utah authorities talking about the inscriptions that were found on this killer's gun and the bullets.
There's noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow, Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
So imagine taking the time to write all that stuff out, right? You got to have some issues. So how did we get here? Who are we blaming? Whose fault is this? Well, you're not going to be surprised at who the left's blaming for this. Come right back. You're listening to the Tony Kinnet cast on WIBC.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaim their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. I've been working out there now for nearly 2 decades, and let me tell you, it works. I'm in my 70s now, and I'm doing things on the farm that I couldn't even do in my 40s. Lifting and carrying, working the way I want to, without worrying if my body can keep up. Now that's real strength. That's real results. What makes Exercise Inc. different? Well, it's the people. The professional staff, many with over 15 years of experience, know exactly how to guide me, support me, and push me to be my very strongest because they know what works. It only takes 20 minutes a week. No wasted time, no crowded gyms, just real results. If you're tired of feeling weaker, if you want more energy and strength for everyday life, give this a try. The consultation is free, and I can promise you it's worth it. Exercise Inc. It's helped me stay strong for nearly 20 years. They can help you too. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up. They've got locations in Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, and in Fishers, too. That's exerciseinc.com. Hey, fall's in the air at Sundown Gardens in Westfield and Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. Locally grown mums and pumpkins are everywhere, along with fall annuals and a wide selection of fall decor. Stop in this week to get your home beautified and in season for the cool days and crisp fall nights. Locally grown mums and pumpkins, plus fall annuals and decor, all at Sundown Gardens up north at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, and Miss M's on State Road 135, just south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Pat Sullivan here. It's that time of year in Indiana when you don't know if you need your AC unit blasting or your furnace to start kicking. Better have both prepared with a $49 AC unit and furnace tune-up from Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Is it sweater weather or tank top weather? Nobody knows. But we do know that you can ensure total comfort inside your home for only $49. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County's fall nursery headquarters.
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnet Cast. I'm your host, Jerry Lopez. How did we get where we are in this country? And why are we where we are in this country, where violence is the response to words? Well, let's let Ilhan Omar tell you how we got here.
This is the last question to you, Congresswoman. Dr. Monica Joy Cross says, how do we fix this? This is a persistent problem. Are there answers?
The answer is not to allow the hateful rhetoric to find the audience that it finds. I mean, one of Charlie's last tweets that I read was a video clip of him. I think in that clip he talked about you and said, Muslims are like bringing an ideology and teaming up with trans and like socialists.
I mean, Muslims are bringing an ideology. There's no doubting that, right? But she says it's the rhetoric. You're using mean words. Mean words get violence, right? Words are violence. We've heard that before from the left. All right, Don Lemon, no-name guy anymore, he recently had comedian D.L. Hughley talking about Charlie Kirk and what happened and how we ended up here, and just listen to how he describes the event as well.
They bantering the word assassination around. Charlie Kirk was not a political figure. I mean, he might have been influential to political figures. He wasn't a political figure. He wasn't assassinated. He was shot. He was shot. And that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, that happens to far too many people. But those other two congressmen, they were political figures, and they were shot because of their political beliefs. And it's always, like, we can only have empathy for people if we relate to them, if we spark to them, if we have a tribal connection to them. It is a shame, and the thing that makes me the angriest about this is I always swore that I would never cede my humanity to anybody or any other situation, but that's getting more and more difficult to do, because I certainly don't believe a young man 31 years old should have lost his life. But Charlie Kirk was a horrible human being. He said horribly incendiary things. As a matter of fact, he died. The very last words he spoke were basically putting the onus of gun violence on gangs, which is a synonym for synonymous with black people. He blamed the very way he died was lying about black people with his last breath. And I just think the best thing I can say is that I hope he believed what he was saying. I hope he believed that lives being lost were worth it so the Second Amendment can persevere. I hope he believed that there should be a lack of empathy. He was parsing between sympathy. Sympathy means we have a similarity. Empathy means I have nothing to do with you, but I can still feel your pain as a human being. And I hope he believed all the rhetoric he espoused, because if not, that was certainly an empty, vacant way to live, and certainly a horrible way to die.
Can you believe we share air with these people? Like, I am not a Joe Biden guy at all, but I don't want anybody to do anything to Joe Biden. And if, God forbid, anything happened to Joe Biden, I would come out and detest whoever did it. Right? You have to separate the person from the position, right? This is still somebody's dad. This is somebody's husband. This is somebody's son. He was 31 years old. He has 2 kids under the age of 4. The only thing he's guilty of is talking to kids. He didn't create policy. He didn't do any of that. CBS morning host Nate Burleson was talking to the former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, and said that it's Republicans' fault, and they need to watch the way they talk.
And as Tony mentioned, not everyone took to his words or his rhetoric. You know, at times they were offensive to specific communities. But with that said, this is not the time to focus on that. We are focused on this tragedy. Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices and what it does to the masses as they get lost in misinformation or disinformation that turns in and spills into political violence?
I say both. We need to watch our rhetoric. We are responsible for the actions of other people because they can't handle the truth. So I'm going to read what is this, 5 tweets. These are all sent by the same person. At the end, I'll tell you who it is, but you tell me if this is dangerous rhetoric or not. Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country. Donald Trump is the greatest threat to our democracy. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything that America stands for. Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy, and we cannot let him win. I'm in Wisconsin talking to folks about what's at stake. Trump poses many threats to our country. The right to choose, civil rights, voting rights, and America's standing in the world. But the greatest threat he poses is to our democracy. If we lose that, we lose everything. Guess who that was? President Joe Biden. That was Joe Biden. That is the top executive. And listen, you can only call, we're going to keep it 100 on this show, okay? I BS you not, I'm going to speak the truth. There's weirdos on both sides. Both sides have the guy that's ready to lose it. Okay, I don't care. The fringe people. Most of us are not that far. We believe what we believe, but we're not going to go out and commit any acts of violence, okay? But you do have fringe people. We have to agree with that. They're on both sides, all right? Now, how many times and for how long do you have to call somebody Hitler? Literally Hitler. We are going to lose our nation. We are going to lose our country. He's coming for your rights. He's going to take away everything before one of these weirdos thinks he's saving the country. That's where we are at right now. MSNBC had a heck of a night, though. They made the most weird suggestion, and in the end, it ended up costing somebody his job.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we.
A supporter shooting their gun off in celebration. Like, come on, guys. Come on. So the person that lost his job, his name's Matthew Dowd, and he was fired after saying this reckless comment.
But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
It's your fault you got killed because you said mean words. Listen, it's an unfortunate reality that we are dealing with today, whether it's Charlie Kirk and thank you, God, that shooter did not turn his weapon on the crowd. Okay, there was a lot of people there. But we saw last week or 2 weeks ago the shooting at the Catholic school. And our next guest is going to help you train your parishioners. A shepherd has got to protect his flock. We have the founder of the Freeze Foundation. And he's going to talk about things that you can do to keep yourself safe. You're not going to want to miss this. You might hear something that saves your life. Come back to 93.1 WIBC.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Hendricks County Fairgrounds in Danville. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hendricks County Fairgrounds in Danville. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep
high
breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Have you heard about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation? Your neighbor Bruce did.
Well, the project I was wanting to accomplish was my driveway. I wanted to see if I could get something that looked halfway decent, that would last a while. We also had a side patio surface redone.
Garage, basements, patios, sidewalks, driveways, Galaxy will transform your surface in as little as 1 day.
The crew was very, very good, excellent. The end result was just super. It is non-slippable surface. I get this if you want to make sure you're not going to have many people slipping or sliding when it rains.
Commercial or residential, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
The end result was just super. It was very easy to keep this surface clean. I had tire tracks all over it, and I just took out my hose, sprayed it down, and it looks just like new again.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We are out of this world.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnet Cast. I'm your host, Jerry Lopez. This next segment's a very important one. I expect you to pay attention, take notes, get involved. This next segment, you may hear something that's going to save your life. We're going to be joined by the founder of the Freeze Foundation. Now, the Freeze Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to church safety, providing hands-on training and support to help sanctuaries stay prepared, confident, and protected. They believe in peace of mind begins with a strong, equipped church community. Ben, thank you for joining us. I cannot wait to have this conversation. How are you doing today?
Jerry, I am honored that you'd have me on the line here. I can't wait to talk about this. Like you said, this is huge for us. Thank you.
You know, it's an unfortunate reality that services like yours have to exist, but without them, what would people do? Tell us a little bit about your background and what made you want to start this foundation.
I will. So I'm a 14-year veteran at a full-time sheriff's department here in Indiana. I'm on SWAT as a sniper and training coordinator. I'm a K-9 handler. I'm a patrol shift supervisor. I'm married with 4 kids. And I started our business, Freeze Consulting, back in 23, where we predominantly train church safety teams, volunteers, civilians, in handgun qualifications, shooting, active shooter training. And we really found a need where it started to pick up, and it costs money to do that. And rather than having churches foot these bills, we started our foundation here this last month so that we can help kind of offset that cost and get our training out to the masses.
Definitely. Now, how many churches or how many individuals do you think that have gone through the training? How many people have you trained and sent back to be able to protect their churches?
Oh, yeah. We've got right now over a dozen churches that we work with. Each team has 15 or so members in it, and then we've got dozens and dozens more civilians that we've taken to our range and showed them firearm fundamentals and safety. I'd say we're in the hundreds at this point of people trained and getting that message out there.
And these are just standard civilians, parishioners of the church. They're not law enforcement individuals. These are members of each church that want to be involved with the safety of their friends and family.
Yeah, we, as law enforcement, we cannot do this alone. We need you. We need your listeners. We need everyone who's good and responsible to come out, learn the firearm fundamentals and safety, because we can't be there immediately at your 911 call. You're going to have to buy us time, and that's what we train. And it's the biggest honor I've had as a police officer, is spreading the message and getting more good people out there. Enough is enough. Like I said.
I couldn't have said that better. Now, with the rhetoric, it's unfortunate that it seems like more of these events are going to keep happening. We just had that horrific one at the Catholic Church where the children were shot. We just saw now with the shooting of Charlie Kirk and the inscriptions on the bullets. I mean, it seems like places that are supposed to be safe are no longer safe.
Jerry, that is exactly correct. Back in this last December here up in northern Indiana, we had one of our church teams have an active killer come in and try to take out people. It's an ongoing case. I can't really talk about it right now. However, we trained them 30 days prior to this guy coming in and trying to take out their people. They did exactly what our foundation trained them to do, and nobody died. So it is happening. It's happening here in Indiana. It's in your backyards. It can happen here. Enough is enough. And the only way we can do that is if we have more people on board. It takes financial contributions and support to our foundation to get this out there.
What are just a couple quick things that you can give somebody? Like if somebody's going to church this Sunday and they're not able to connect with you yet, what are some things that somebody could look out for? What are some ways that people should respond to situations that seem maybe weird or maybe they've escalated?
Good. That is a great question. When you're in these churches, you've been there longer than most of your law enforcement or anyone else that's nearby. You know what's normal. If it's not normal and you see something, you got to say something. If it doesn't feel right, call 911. Call us. Call your safety teams. It's our job. That's what we need. We don't know about this if we don't hear about it. So the biggest thing you can do this weekend coming up, put your phones down, look up what's out of the norm. Are doors locked? One of the biggest things we can do is keep your perimeter secure. Lock your doors. Have greeters. We don't need everybody armed in churches. However, everyone in these churches has a role here, including when you're sitting in there watching the sermon, you have to be actively participating in this. We got to all work together on it.
I think one of the biggest things that people fear, and they need to get over it real quick, is they don't want to offend somebody, right? Something seems out of place, and how many times have you heard, well, I thought something was up? And people are just scared to say something to whoever it is. And I'm going to assume that if somebody came up to me and just started a conversation with me or put eyes on me, you don't have to come up and go, hey, do you have a gun? Are you going to do something? Right? But I think most people, when they get the attention, they don't want the attention. They want the easy, soft targets.
Jerry, you are exactly correct. You look these people in the eye, you let them know that you see them, and right away they're going to know, uh-oh, this isn't going to be the easy target that I thought I was. I've got eyes on me. And then if you do have an armed security unit, you can have them intercept and end up, like you said, you don't have to pat them down for weapons or anything right away. It's just important that we're letting them know we see them and we're acting on it. One of the biggest things our active shooter training is to get the hesitation out in those moments of, was that gunfire? Was that construction? Our program goes into churches. We do a classroom portion. We're not there to scare anybody. We'll do a classroom portion. I will go over skills. Our team will go over what to do. And then we'll do some role-playing in scenarios where we use blank gunfire in your churches around your building so that you get used to the sound of it so you know how to react.
Yeah, so, and you as a police officer, this is one of the things that, military and police have in common. If you do it enough, you just result back to your training. It's almost, you don't even think about it. You hear the gunshot, you just autopilot, you go do what you have to do.
Exactly. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall back to your highest level of training, and that's what we're here for. That's what our mission is to make sure that there is a base level of training. And, yeah, it's not a one and done, you do one class and we're out of here. We're with you and your team for as long as we can be there with you. And it does take money. It does take energy, and that's where this nonprofit and the foundation, we have to get this going so it's not just here in Indiana. Our goal is to go nationwide. We already have churches in Florida asking for us. It costs money to get there. I'm telling you, your listeners, Jerry, if you're sitting back and you're upset and you're angry or you're scared and you don't know what to do right now, we have the equipment, the experience, and the resources to train your people and to train other churches. And that takes financial support and contributions at the Freeze Foundation. That's what we're trying to do here.
So if somebody wants to donate, where would they go to donate? What's the process of that? I know you guys are a nonprofit, so you're not out here trying to make a buck. You're literally trying to save lives. How does somebody get involved?
Very easy. You can visit us at thefreezefoundation.org. And Freeze, it's a weird one, F-R-I-E-S. It's not fries, it's Freeze. It's thefreezefoundation.org. We're on Instagram as well as the Freeze Foundation. There's a link there. It's super simple to donate. Our first goal is $25,000. That gets us about 8 to 10 churches here in Indiana where they don't have to pay for this class at all. That also gets us to go nationwide, 5 to 6 churches. We can go to Florida. We can go to other states that are asking for us, that it's not going to cost their church money to have us come down there.
And you do have churches that are able to pay for this whole thing. This is to help out those churches that deserve protection, want the support, want the training. But maybe it's a smaller church. Maybe they only have 100, 200 people. We're not talking about mega churches like Joel Olstein here.
Exactly. We do have churches pay out of pocket for this. Most of our churches here locally, like I said, the 13 or 14 that have paid for this have done it out of pocket. They are bigger churches. We want to make sure everybody has access to our training because we've seen it save lives back in December. That was our litmus test to know we got to keep pushing forward. We can't do this alone. And like you said earlier, this violence, it's in our subways. It's on our college campuses. It's on our streets. It's in our churches. Enough is enough. And we need your listeners' help to do that.
I think what you're doing is fantastic, and once again, it sucks to say that it's needed. Like it's such a horrible thought that we share a world with people who want to come in and do harm to people who pose no risk at all. But much like a shepherd supposed to protect his flock, much like a parent supposed to protect their kids, we have a duty to protect each other. And like you said earlier, buy you some time, right? Because somebody's got to make a call. You got to come from wherever you're at on the run to respond to that call. And guess what? Nobody knows my church better than I do.
That's exactly correct. And like I said, this last December, we had this happen. Our officers were just a couple minutes out, and in that time, that safety team stepped up and intercepted this guy, bought our officers time to get there. Nobody died. It works. I'm telling you, I believe in this. I know you do, Jerry, and this is just, again, I'm honored to have this phone call and to get this message out there. This is not the beginning. This isn't the end. We're here for the long run.
Well, and to your point, it's so needed, right? Like if you save one life, that's fantastic. But we're talking about groups of people. Most people aren't carrying weapons in church. They think church is going to be a safe place. We're talking about you could save 10, 20, 30 lives because nobody's going to be armed unless they go through this training. Now, you don't just do this kind of training. You offer other kind of fire training. I saw that you had a ladies' night or something like that.
Oh, yeah. We do ladies' nights where, again, you may have never shot a firearm. Maybe you're comfortable with it. We've got all of our instructors. We're all licensed firearms instructors. We have our outdoor shooting range here up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We will travel to do classes if you want us. We do precision rifle classes, carbine classes, pistol fundamentals. You name it, we do it. We do law enforcement, civilians, military. It's a good thing.
Awesome. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. Give out your website for donations. I need everybody to get involved, all right? We say, what are we going to do, right? We can't wait for the government to protect us. We have to protect ourselves. We look at Charlie Kirk. If Charlie Kirk can be a victim, you sure as heck can be a victim in your church. You need to get involved with this foundation. Go ahead and give out the information again.
Yeah, www.thefreezefoundation.org, and freeze is F-R-I-E-S.
Ben, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that the listeners get involved. Send me any information. I'm also going to post it on my social media. So for those of you who maybe somebody else wants to get involved, point them to my social media. We'll put it out there. Thank you so much for joining us, helping us, and kind of opening our eyes to the future that we unfortunately have to look at.
Will do, brother. Again, thanks for your time, and God bless. Have a safe weekend.
Stay safe out there.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's. But that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
It's JMV, and fall is in the air at Sundown Gardens in Westfield and Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. Locally grown mums and pumpkins are everywhere, along with fall annuals and a wide selection of fall decor. Stop in this week to get your home beautified and in season for the cool days and crisp fall nights. Locally grown mums and pumpkins, plus fall annuals and decor, all at Sundown Gardens. Up north at 186th and Spring Mill Road in Westfield and Miss M's Home and Garden. State Road 135 just south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
98 years of quality and comfort with Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Since 1927, our family-owned store has been your trusted source for top brands like Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Tempur-Pedic, and Smith Brothers. Hey, this is Spencer Thompson, and right now, during our 98th anniversary sale, save up to 50% off on furniture and mattresses, plus free delivery, interest-free financing, and extra discounts for cash. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Indy Humane. Find your new best friend today. Visit indyhumane.org.
Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned with the Zero Res Pro starting at just $129 and take $75 off the air duct cleaning too. Book online at zeroresindy.com.
Housing discrimination because of race, color, or national origin is against the law. If you believe you've experienced housing discrimination, contact HUD at hud.gov/fair housing.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnet Cast. It is Friday night. We've reached the end. Let's change it up a little bit. I want to talk some immigration. I'm going to tell you a story that you probably haven't heard that is going to blow your mind. So, for those of you that don't know, I am a first-generation American. My family's from Cuba. My mom came over on the Mario boat lift. My mom and dad came over on the Mario boat lift. And there was only, we were part of a small church here on the southwest side of Indianapolis, and it was just us. And I don't think immigration is the issue. It's the number of immigrants we're bringing to pockets of communities. Okay, and let me explain. My family had no choice to assimilate. You just had no option. You have to assimilate. We didn't have translators. We didn't have all the stuff that society has now. To try to make people more comfortable, I think is actually doing us a disservice. right? Because you can go, let's talk Chinatown, all right? Let's say you're a Chinese immigrant, you come here, you move to Chinatown in Chicago. You never have to learn English. You never have to because everything around you is in Chinese. You get to keep all your cultural norms, much like you see up in Dearborn, Michigan with the Arabs or Somalis in Minnesota, right? There's no need to assimilate when you flood communities with immigrants. When we talk about 40,000 Haitian immigrants want to come here, do you think they're going to assimilate? There's no need to assimilate, right? And what happens when you're not forced to assimilate? Well, you don't feel part of the country. You don't feel the allegiance that me and my family felt, right? The gratitude to be here. Immigration is a huge, huge issue, but I think we need to focus more on the assimilation. And if you want to talk about somebody that figured out a way to assimilate, the Sinaloan cartel has taken over, not taken over. I mean, there's a lot. 171 Sinaloan cartel members were arrested in New England. 171. All right? The U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency says a week-long cartel crackdown led to 171 cartel members in New England alone. The DEA says all of those arrested were tied to the Sinaloa cartel. It's the Mexican-based network considered the largest drug cartel in the world. New England saw the highest number of regional arrests, 49 in Massachusetts, 33 in New Hampshire, and 64 in Connecticut. We're not talking about Texas. Right? We're not talking about Arizona. We're not talking about California. We are talking about Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. Now, immigration is a big issue. And when we think about big cities that have issues with immigration, one of the first ones that comes to my mind is Chicago. Well, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson had this to say about ICE and immigration in his state.
When the President of the United States of America put so much money into ICE, where the only other forces that have more resources than ICE is the United States government's army and China's army, that's a problem. That's a threat to our democracy.
There they go using that phrase again, right? It's a threat to our democracy. Well, let me tell you how we got here. Okay, the way we got here is an illegal immigrant is arrested for a crime. Department of Homeland Security puts a retainer on that immigrant that says, when you're done with whatever process you have, we're going to come pick him up, and then we're going to deport him because we have a retainer. He's illegal. He's not supposed to be here. Well, you have sanctuary cities and, in some cases, California sanctuary states that refused to work with the Department of Homeland Security. So they would not notify them when court was over. They would not notify them when this person was released. They would not work at all with the federal government to get these criminals out of the country. So what do we do now? Well, now we have to go find the criminal. And when they find the criminal and they show up to the house and they say, everybody pull out your IDs, well, guess what? Abuela gets swept up too. So does his niece. So does this cousin. So does this child. We're here because sanctuary states and sanctuary cities refuse to do their jobs. Right? There was a criminal alien that was released under a sanctuary city law, and listen to what he did to a Maryland teenager.
Interstate 97 in the Annapolis area. According to charging documents WJZ Investigates obtained, the suspect, 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez, threw her body off a highway bridge into the South River. She had skull and facial fractures. Her family identified her through tattoos.
At this time, there are no additional suspects. However, this investigation is ongoing.
Thompson, who lived with her dad, disappeared after going out to get gas. She sent him this text.
I should be back soon. I love you too. Good night.
This guy should have never been on the streets, right? He was released in Maryland. Kills a teenager, throws her off a bridge. He should have never had been in this country. These are the people that need to get out. We have to get them out. I am a child of immigrants. I am pro kicking all these people out of the country. I am pro-immigrant. I am. But I am anti-illegal immigration. There's no doubt about that. Well, let's end on something a little bit better. Don Lemon did a street interview, and it was probably the best one I've ever heard. And he was in for a doozy.
How you doing, sir? Can we talk to you? Where are you from? You live in New York?
Who are you?
Don Lemon.
You're a f***ing moron, dude.
Thank you. So are you.
Yeah, oh, that's very nice of you
yeah,
to
nice
say.
to see you.
Except you've never heard anything I've had to say, and I've heard a whole bunch of what you've
I'm
had
glad
to
you
say.
watched me.
No, I don't.
Why?
But you just get clipped everywhere.
I know, but why don't you? You said you don't watch me, but yet you know who I am, and I get clipped.
Before I realized that CNN and MSNBC were full of shit, every once in a while I'd see
What do you watch?
talking. I watch all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but why do you say CNN and MSNBC are full of shit?
Because they lie.
But about what? Be specific. What's everything?
Everything.
I mean, that's fantastic. It's awesome to see somebody just tell Don Lemon to his face, who has now resorted to just being a random street reporter because he's not taken seriously anymore. All right, we're at the end. We're going to let Kash Patel take us home. I want you to think back on this week. I want you to hug your loved ones. You never know when God's going to call you home, and it's just very important to keep those safe. Please, please get involved with the Freeze Foundation. It's FRIES. I'll post something on my social media. Kash Patel, give us the final word to Charlie Kirk.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
I've had an awesome time the past 2 days with you guys. If you're looking for more content from me, you can find it on Twitter at Indy Spanglish. Have a safe, and wonderful weekend. Take care. You've listened to the Tony Kinnet Cast on WIBC.
Indy, don't use the beautiful fall to paint. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think